We're in the studios of IndianCountryTV.com on the Courte reservation, and we have a guest today, Gaiashkibos, former chairman of the Courte tribe and the president of the National Congress of American Indians, and currently a member of the Courte Tribal Council. I want to talk a little bit about some of your activities here. You indicated that you've been to Washington, D.C. lately, and there's a lot of discussion about the economic stimulus bill that's been taking place here and passed by the Congress and the Senate and signed into the law. Can you give us a little update about what the tribal relationship, what your role might be in finding out about how that program will impact Indian country in general and Courte specifically?
Well, I was out to Washington here a week ago, and I went to attend a Mass. Mass stands for the Midwest Alliance of Sovereign Tribes. And we were out, and we actually went up on the Hill. We had one day of actual prep. We had people come in and talk a little bit. We got some briefing from Indian Health Service. We got a briefing from the National Indian Health Board. We got a briefing from some lawyers, some folks that were on part of the transition team, and also with the National Congress of American Indians. And what we're hearing is, and I brought back tons of information, is that there's going to be special set aside, and those dollars are going to go specifically to the tribes. Now, when you say specifically to the tribes, you have to remember there are over 565 federally recognized tribes throughout the United States. So each state, each area, not each state, but each area where there's tribes, of course, that money is going to be passing down through Indian Health Service. There's going to be special add-on money from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Department of Justice, Department of Education. There's going to be certain areas that there's going to be money in there for part of the stimulus in Indian country, and some of that money is also passing down through the state. Through the state of Wisconsin, for example, Department of Transportation, I assume that we're going to be working with them as well. Rusty Barber is our liaison, the contact person for Courte tribe. And I've been in discussion with him, I've been in discussion with the chairman and the whole council, basically looking at what we can do to access those dollars. And so we have some projects, fortunately, that are shovel ready. When I look back, Kathy Begay has been working close to a year now. We're looking at development of a new tribal health center, and this just didn't happen overnight. This has been in the planning stages for some time, and a new physical fitness center. Some people call it a wellness center. And so there are some things, the college, for example, they have through Amber Marlowe, they have a grant already. She wrote a planning grant a year ago. It took a 2-mile circumference of the schools and the college for walking and bike path, non-motorized. And so we are really up on many things already. Housing, right now we have a planning committee. It's called Wakaigan. And what this planning committee does is it advises LCO Housing Authority and LCO Tribal Government. And we're gearing up for that through Gene Thayer and Bookie Hall, or Bookie Wilgott. We're putting the plans in place right now. And we're looking at development of a 30 home ownership or rental that could be home ownership down the road.
When you talk about shovel ready, you say that you're up and ready to go within 30, 60, 90 days or something, where you can get going with it because the planning's on the ground.
Absolutely. One of the things when I was in Washington, D.C., what I've learned is that during that discussion was that if tribes aren't shovel ready, if you don't utilize these dollars within a year, it was going to go back to U.S. Treasury. Well, there's some tribes, just like tribes here. I mean, in northern Wisconsin, we don't have a big planning department. Many tribes aren't ready yet. And we don't want to see that money go back. When you compare, let's say, a university setting where they have a whole floor of writers and development and planning, and then you look at a tribal government trying to make ends meet, Now, you compare that and you say, well, geez, these places are already ready. They already got these plans in place. Well, the tribe is a little bit at a disadvantage. So we're going to see if we can get that extended to some point.
Now this stimulus money bill, how does this impact the general flow of budgeted monies coming into the tribe? Is this going to replace money that might typically be coming from some entity?
That's not my understanding. That money that is there, there's going to be probably there's going to be a different line item for that. For example, new construction dollars for Indian Health Service. There is already a line item, but a backlog of 30 years for construction. But for those tribes that are ready, that have a clinic or a hospital that are ready to go, that's a special sort of like an add-on that's going to be targeted just for that area of
So if there's $1 million allocated for construction of health services now coming down the pipeline, this stimulus money isn't going to replace it. We should be in addition to.
It's not going to be. It's going to be an addition to. And those tribes that are already earmarked for that, they're going to get that, continue to get that. But those tribes that are ready, that are shovel ready, that's where that stimulus hopefully will come in and impact the tribes throughout the country, to impact LCO. That's what I'm really after. I want to make sure that we get those dollars and put our people to work here.
You mentioned a couple projects. Let's go back to those projects again. Le Courte is ready to go forward on what kind of projects?
Right now that's ready is a new health center. We're looking at putting that down by the, just going north here on K, north of the credit union. We're looking at athletic facilities, similar to what, not as big, but similar to what Shakopee has, where you're going to provide a membership, and you're going to sell a membership to generate income. It'll be run as a business. But when you look at the obesity problem, the problem with diabetes in Indian country, and here in our community, we have to start getting healthy again. It's going to take generations to get there, and we have to start somewhere. We need to start with our kids.
The major goal of these projects is to essentially put people back to work?
Put people back to work, create work, but also create something that's going to be a benefit to the tribe, and that the tribes can utilize that to enhance their own infrastructure, enhance what they already have.
You see any potential funding that's going to help what might be called the private tribal sector, individual businesses?
I believe there's some dollars in there for that as well, because the backbone of any community throughout this country is the small, independent businesses. I'm just getting ready to go to D.C. right now again, and I'm heading out to D.C. Saturday. I'm going out for the National Congress of American Indians, and I'm also part of the national budget formulation team for Bemidji area, and always constantly asking for funds, because we're funded at the lowest funding level throughout Indian country. We're at 37% of what, so that means 37 cents of every dollar is paid by Indian Health Service, and we have to find the other 63 cents of every dollar right now, and so we have to make that up. So that's what I'm doing. We're already working on the 2011 budget, and I know that we're getting ready to end here, and I just want to thank you for inviting me in here to be a part of this, and I want to say to our troops, to our warriors, that I'm a Marine, a former Marine, and served in Vietnam, one tour of duty in Vietnam. And I want to say to all of our troops and warriors that our prayers are with you. We haven't forgot you. And here in Indian country, throughout Indian country, we honor the warriors.
Thanks for joining with us, Gosh. We appreciate your time.
Miigwech.